So let's just look at what we're going to do. This is our primary part here on the left. It's a ring model. So this model is about 12 inches or 12 millimeters in diameter, about 18 millimeters in diameter, 12 inches wide. And we have several features here that we're going to be machining out. Obviously, in the center, we got this diamond air pattern that goes around the part, and then another offset pattern right next to it. So we're going to be using various continuous four-axis roughing methods to rough this down, and we're going to show you each of the roughing methods available. And after that, we're going to do some finishing. We're going to do finishing in levels, our level finishing, and then we're also going to show you how to rough this out in parallel finishing, because you can use parallel finishing. Even though it's a finishing operation, you can use it very well for roughing as well. So we're going to show you that. After we finish it out, we're just going to do some pocketing, four-axis pocketing in these areas. We're going to do some cleanup passes around the pocketing areas to clean these edges up. And then we're going to show you some different ways to machine these outer rims here. We're going to do, first we're going to do a facing operation, and then on the other side we'll show you how to do a profiling and clean this up just as well as the facing. So in this picture here, if you're unfamiliar with how four-axis works, the green arrow here is our fourth rotational axis. So it points along the the primary x-axis. So the x-axis is actually rotating on the machine bed, and the spindle with the cutter will be moving in X, Y, and Z. Okay. Now we're going to be using another model to show you the drive surface machining, and this is a true four-axis method, whereas the rotational axis and the X, Y, and Z, the three axes, are moving in tandem to machine this part. And you'll also notice that on this picture, the little green arrow here, the rotational axis again is along the x-axis. Okay, and you'll also notice, pay attention to the shape of this part, how it's not actually centered on the rotational axis. And that's a situation where only drive surface machining can really machine this part. And the other methods, you'll notice that the part is centered about the rotational axis. Okay, and let's see what else we got here. In this little picture up here on the right, it gives you an idea of how a typical four-axis machine tool is set up. In this particular setup, we have the fourth rotational axis is on the table of the machine. So if you look at number 4 here, and you look at the green arrow, similar to these parts, the models over here, you'll see that the green arrow begins on the left side, and it runs along parallel to the x-axis right here, number 1. Okay, so there is another configuration where the rotational axis is actually in the head. Okay, but that's not how our parts are set up for this particular demonstration. In most cases, it'll be along the table, and the spindle, just like a 3-axis spindle.
Hey Don, I just want to say a few words about rotary axis being on the head. I mean, it might be obvious or might not be obvious why the rotary axis typically is on the table, because if you can imagine, if the rotary axis is on the head, it can't really reach a lot of places. Right? It can't go under the part. While if it's on a rotary table, it can spin and expose the undersides of the part pretty easily. So the most common configurations we see is the rotary axis is on the table.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep.
All right, Don.
Okay. Okay, so basically that's an understanding of how 4-axis works, specifically in this part that we're going to be looking at today. And down here, we just have a list of the operation types. We went over those in the agenda. These are the operations that we're going to be demonstrating. R-level roughing, R-level finishing, R-level meaning that each cut level is a radius, okay? So it's going to be working its way down at various radii on the part. And we're going to be looking at parallel finishing in 4-axis. And then also we mentioned drive surface machining. We're going to be showing you another part for that. And then facing, pocketing, and profiling. Okay. That might work. 8.11 or 8.10, my big one. Okay. Again, as I mentioned, the step down. And let's just generate this. See if it, okay. We still have it riding a little bit, but you get the idea of how you can tweak that in to, move this first pass over, but we'll just leave it like that. Let's go ahead and simulate that. And we'll set the color. And let's move this. This is a finishing. So let's move this up above this finishing here. And let's play that. So it's just working its way around. Okay. And this, you'll see that the levels are radial. They're not offset of the part like the R-level finishing is. So the R-level finishing will give you a better finish with a tight step down and a tight tolerance. This is just another way to do it. Okay. And you'll see that the cutter didn't go into the pockets, didn't go all the way down to the pockets. Okay, so that's finishing. So we did R-level roughing. Let's look at the pass again. We did R-level roughing. And if you want to contain the R-level roughing, now in the R-level roughing, if you select containment boundaries, it will take much longer to calculate because you're constraining it based on the stock, based on the part, and you're constraining it between two curves that you're selecting. So just be prepared that it will take longer. If you don't want to wait, you don't have to do it that way. You can just adjust your stock dimensions. You can just go in and just adjust your stock width just to cover a certain area. That will make it just as fast as we did it here. So we did roughing and levels, okay? And again, you'll see that there's much more retracts and transfer motions in roughing and levels. But again, the roughing and levels is more geared to a part that has large protrusions, like sticking out, okay? Which would be a lot better toolpath for that application. But this is the way it looks like on our part. And then we also did a parallel finishing and levels. Where's the finishing and levels? Our finishing and levels that I really like. And parallel finishing and 4-axis R-level finishing. Okay, that's nice.